We are live, potentially. Let's do just a bit of testing, make sure everything is working, get the chat up, hopefully. Maybe we can do that. All right, today we're going to be looking at a very interesting video I saw. I think it's demonstrative of something. We'll discuss that momentarily. For now, we'll do something like this. Yeah, in fact, that should be an okay size. All right, so that's the chat up for you guys. We'll test it. All right, it works. Yeah, it's a new kind of thing that I was doing here with the chat. I think it's cool, but we have kind of a transparent chat going on. Anyway, well, without further ado, let's get started. So this is a city council in Dearborn. As you know, Dearborn, lots of Muslims, and that's not everybody's favorite thing. So let's just observe this. And this is their Muslim mayor, and apparently this is the big bad wolf. So yeah, let's just get started.
You are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here.
All right, so pretty extreme. He says bigot, Islamophobe. Hopefully this is justified, right? Because, it's pretty insulting without justification.
And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
These comments from the Muslim mayor of Dearborn, Michigan to a resident at a city council meeting made news. The resident had committed the offense of expressing concern over a street being named after Osama Siblani.
And this is the thing, like, Osama Siblani, right? Let's say I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, he's wearing a suit. He's an Arab, Lebanese American. He's a publisher. He's an advocate for Arabs, etc. And he refers to Hamas and Hezbollah as freedom fighters, which, if you know the context of the situation, this may be accurate, because these people have been repeatedly colonized, oppressed, killed, slaughtered without any media attention. They pick and choose who they draw attention to, and who they say are the victims, and who they completely ignore. We didn't hear much about the millions being killed in the Middle East. And that's the thing, they kill millions, but then when you go to say, these Hezbollah, Hamas, if you say they're freedom fighters, when they're, again, like these are the people providing the only remaining defense for people who are occupied, the corrupt governments that have been instilled with, Western influence. And when they defend themselves, of course, it is, it's terrorism, or it's militancy, or it's something bad, and you can't possibly call them freedom fighters, right? Well, how about you live in a country which is occupied for over 50 years, where your people are arrested without reason, held in jails, beaten, tortured, etc., and then return to your families, So that's the example of Philistine, or where children are just being slaughtered left and right in Afghanistan or in Iraq. There's no consideration for that. And so that's the thing. Then you get groups like Hezbollah and Hamas that emerge. Hamas, which was funded by recently, they got their $5 million from Israel through Qatar that Netanyahu sent, and Qatar kept a written statement of this because they knew nobody would believe them, a signed written statement. So yeah, like, even these very militant groups, I haven't even gotten started on the video. We're like 5 seconds in and we're already this deep. These very people are caused and funded by the groups criticizing them. And they're the people's last remaining defense. And that's why people call them freedom fighters. You know, because when you have your own military of the whole of your official government, which is installed and permitted from a foreign power, well, they don't really have your best interests in mind. You know, like, oh, what about your military? Yeah, well, these Arab militaries are killing their own people because they're not really Muslim. Like, who remembers the president of Syria using chemical weapons on his own people? Are those really the leaders that were supposed to be? Are those the freedom fighters? And then you wonder why Hamas and Hezbollah are a thing, and you wonder why people defend them. Maybe because they actually do deserve a defense, and people are just smearing and slandering them for so many of the things that even Hamas was accused of doing. IDF was in reality doing, and Hamas was innocent of, including like the rape of women and these other things, where you have these prisoners escaping or not escaping, being released by Hamas, and they're singing praises of Hamas. They're being given clothes and food and water. They're arm wrestling with the guards, and the guard is wrapping his hand in a towel because in Islam, you're not supposed to touch a woman you're not married to. They're giving her all this respect. She was crying talking about it because she felt so respected. She was she was just shocked by how good the treatment was. And that she said she made friends with her captors. Oh, maybe she's crazy, right? Yeah, well, you know what? When your captors treat you nicely, you will make friends with them. Meanwhile, IDF are doing right to rape rallies where, well, guess what? You know, because Gazans, people from Gaza are animals, then it's okay to rape them because you're not really raping humans, and the IDF, you know, it's justified. And killing the children and starving them and starving the people, that this is all justified because they're animals, right? So it is a little bit deeper than just smearing Hamas and Hezbollah as militant. You know, just saying. Let's go back.
My concern is he's a promoter of Hezbollah and Hamas.
Yeah,
The best suggestion I have for you is to not drive on Warren Avenue.
There you go. See, he's just making it simple. And this is the thing. Like, they'll get into the founding fathers later, and we'll get into that as well.
Or to close your eyes while you're doing it.
I didn't finish the video because I wanted to watch it with you guys.
Thank you. Also say that I'm an apostate, I'm going to hell based on the videos that you dropped. So if I were you,
If he's an apostate, he's going to sell based on the videos that he drops. Okay, buddy. Well, what does your religion say? Is that not the claim of basically every religion? I mean, like, God sends messengers. He commands you to worship him. And if you're an apostate, you get judged and you go to hell. Now, we don't know who actually will or will not go to hell. But, like, that's not something that's so spicy that it's, like, thrown in, you know?
Okay.
So perhaps we shouldn't
It's not a special belief, is what I'm saying. It's a standard feature of religions that command you to believe in God.
be too surprised that Dearborn has drawn the attention of people like this guy, who came in and dropped a...
And I mean, look at what this guy is wearing. Like, this guy's ready for war, you know? Like, he's all tacticaled out, right? Like, what, is he scared of being attacked, or this is your toolkit? I guess some of this is streaming equipment.
grenade at the city council meeting.
You guys got to keep it down, okay?
In 1900, the world was 30% white.
And this is another thing, like the complaint of, like, look, I'm white too, okay? And I agree with Tucker Carlson that whites are targeted and that they've been systemically and unfairly treated in the U.S. because of certain programs, because of bad actors. I don't think that it's the minorities who are pushing for this stuff, actually. I think it's even members of some majorities. People have bad intentions. They do bad things for bad reasons. And one of the slimy things they do, you know, with affirmative action and some of these other things, like, I don't know. There's an analysis to be made. Sometimes saying no is the more loving thing to do, right? And sometimes, you know, with food stamps and with assistance and all these other things, like, sometimes you can go too far. You can create issues. I don't know why this keeps going out of focus, but anyway, I think I can set that manually. We'll just ignore it for now. Let's get back to it. I'm just saying that I get where he's coming from with the whole whites being targeted thing, but I don't think it's relevant in this particular conversation. And, you know, Islam being the fastest growing religion in the world, not by birth rate, but by a sheer conversion. You know, I mean, wasn't that your guys' whole thing of being like evangelicals? But anyway.
Fast forward 125 years, we are down to 7%. The Islamification of Europe.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. He's like crystallizing these 2 points, that whites are down from 30% to 7%, and then immediately goes to the Islamification of Europe as if these things are connected, which I don't think he's demonstrated that at all.
Is particularly aimed at the destruction of white people, the Islamification of America.
And I see this guy smiling in the back. I don't know if he's smiling because he agrees with him or because he knows how hilariously inaccurate all of this is.
Is
Or
aimed
maybe not inaccurate. Some of these statements may be fact, but they're misleading in the way that he's tying them together.
to meet the same goal. Our people, white Christian, European, Western
White Christians. Okay, buddy.
civilization.
And this is the thing. Like, what? Does your religion not accept people from other cultures? Like 20% of Muslims are Arab. Okay? So that means most of Muslims are not Arab. And then you're like, white Christians. Okay, was not Christianity made for everybody? I mean, I already know the answer to that. You don't know your book, but your book says, Jesus, peace be upon him, says that he was sent to the house of Israel. Okay? And who specifically for that? Prophet Muhammad was sent to the whole world. Rahma al-alameen. He's a mercy to all the worlds. But Jesus in particular was sent to the Jews. So it wasn't even sent to white people to begin with. But, and anyway, who is white? Who is really white? Like, what is this identity of white? What is that? Roman? Is that Greek? The same people who destroyed the Christian church?
We built the arts. We built the Colosseum.
The arcs, the Colosseum. Yeah, I love, Greek and Roman culture. Those people were really some moral dudes. Really peak humanity. And especially like the amount of homosexuality they had, for starters. You want to talk Judeo-Christian values? Let's talk about how much homosexuality was widespread, proliferated, even permitted, and even the tie-in with the Christianity and the emperors and I mean, their servants. In fact, it was like, it's okay if you're gay as long as you're the one doing it. But if it's done to you, like, oh no, that's feminine. But they had like distinctions. So as long as you're the one screwing dudes, then it's like, it's not that gay, right?
Ran the world into the industrial age.
I'm just bringing that in. I know that's distant from him and what he's saying, but I'm just saying that he's talking about the Colosseums, okay? Just saying that he's talking about it as if this was some golden age and that the whites brought all this to us, as if whites didn't steal every useful thing from other nations, whether it was, Asians or Arabs.
And now, this people here, the Muslim community, is looking to drag us back. They're looking to oppress women.
Back. Oh, they want to
oppress homosexuals.
Oh, that's dragging us back. So, like, this is the thing. Being a Republican, being a white Christian is like, homosexuality, like, we love everybody, but these people are misguided, they're sick, they need help. Christianity, legalizing gay marriage, we shouldn't do that. Like, doing a full 180, that it's like, we're against being gay and homosexuality, or like, just don't force it on us. Like, but we're not in support of it. We'll tolerate it, but we're not in support of it. We'll do a full 180 that, no, we support its progress, and we support homosexuality when it's against Islam. Islam is identical to most of your values, but you won't talk about that. You'll misrepresent it, and you'll actually change your own values in order to disagree with them. Completely nuts. Completely nuts.
They're looking to destroy every...
I mean, he's just... It's an emotional argument. He's trying to draw on your emotions like, oh no, they're attacking homosexuals?
thing that makes America great.
And that's what makes America great, is the freedom to be homosexual, right? Well, actually, what makes America great is you can be free to be homosexual, or you can be free to follow any religion you want, including Christianity. And he will mention the founding fathers later, which it's a very, it's a very relevant point. We'll try that. I don't know, probably won't help, but doesn't matter. You don't need to see the exact keys anyway. Let's continue.
President Trump, send ICE. Send ICE into Dearborn. These people have overstayed their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders. And they
I mean, where do you think, the Irish and the Polish, and the German, where do you think you got your white population from?
Have come to this country to destroy our way of life.
I mean, even your British are immigrants, but anyway.
We know exactly your laws in your book.
Do you? So he says we know your laws in your book, and this is the issue. You think you know, but you don't know anything.
About lying to our faces.
Yeah, oh, taqiyya. Oh, yeah, taqiyya. This is like, I wake up every morning and I'm like, how am I going to commit taqiyya? Let's pull this up super quick. All right. So, dealing with hostile groups. Great. So, this is something that we're supposed to do daily, right? I'm being sarcastic here. I think it's just disingenuous to take some very rare, unique thing that is permitted when your life is in danger, that you can lie to protect yourself so they don't slaughter you. And we're taking that as, oh, that means we need to lie to advance Islam. When we have somebody like Paul, let's see. All right. To the Jews, I become a Jew in order to win Jews. To all things to all people, because so he can save them. Like he will, like a chameleon, will change his form and pretend to be something. Like, is that not dishonest? This is from the Bible. The Bible. So I'm just saying it's a little bit ironic that he's saying that our book and our rules teaches us to lie to them when the reality is their book does, to bring people closer to Christianity. Our book teaches no such thing. Just saying. I live my day about how to live honestly, and I face battles every day for how honest do I have to be even though it's going to hurt me. That I have to be honest when I apply to jobs, that I have to be honest when I do my financial transactions, that I have to be honest and honor agreements, that not make any loopholes, being hyper aware that God sees me and that I should be afraid or embarrassed of my actions if they are not in line or if they are something which I would be, ashamed or afraid to admit to God. Because God knows everything. So like even if you trick everybody in the world to make an extra dollar or whatever. So yeah, so somebody who like me losing sleep every night for how honest should I be? Like I'm worried that I should be more honest or if I'm not being honest enough. And to be accused of, I'm thinking about how to lie to everybody.
Pretending to be Americans, wearing your suit.
Pretending to be Americans. No, we're taught to follow the laws of the land. It's part of our religion to follow the laws of the land.
But that doesn't happen anywhere else where you guys are in charge. There are 53 Muslim majority countries, and in all of them, it is tyranny, destruction.
Yeah, in all those countries, it's tyranny and destruction. And who do you think is the cause for that? It was not tyranny and destruction until colonizers came. Before that, everyone lived in peace and harmony. And not only that, but non-Muslims received protections and were allowed to follow their own court systems. So imagine that. Muslims are permitting Christians and Jews to follow their own court systems. And this is tyranny and destruction. Yeah, No, I think that's yourself, but you failed to study enough to see yourself in the mirror.
It is shithole living. We have to call it what it is.
Who did that?
You guys don't live
you're
like we
complaining
do.
about the immigrants. You're complaining about the immigrants, but you're the one who caused there to be so many immigrants in the first place.
Want you in our country. We will come and eat your shawarma in Somalia.
I'm happy shawarma is not from Somalia, but I'm happy that you like shawarma. I hope you get to eat more of it. I wish I could sit down with this guy and eat shawarma with him and explain to him these things.
Okay? We don't need it here in Michigan. We don't need...
No, you do need it in Michigan. You need shawarma, and you need chicken tikka masala. You need pad thai. You need these Americanized staples of foreign culture because it brings enjoyment and entertainment to the monotonous food industry, which has all been purchased and reiterated by private equity. Like Taco Bell, Del Taco, and McDonald's basically taste the same. I mean, alhamdulillah, we don't eat any of this garbage food anymore, but back when we used to eat it, like, it's not even good food. So you would rather have private equity taking over all the businesses that you once knew and loved rather than eat shawarma in the US.
In any part of America. We have
See, this guy's laughing. I think he knows how preposterous that this all is.
a right to self-determination. Our founding
Oh yeah, the shawarma is threatening your right to self-determination. And can't tell if he's holding his phone to record or to read his notes. I hope it's both, because both are really funny.
fathers fought and died for our posterity.
The founding fathers fought and died for our posterity. Huh. So interesting. So interesting. So interesting. So interesting. I'm just going to leave this on screen here a little bit. I guess I should read it for those. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Fine. Or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So basically, it's the people's business. They can do it or they cannot do it without government interference. This guy's asking for government interference in religion. These people are not overstepping their bounds, you know. Anyway, I don't even think I really need to go deeper than that, because I mean, all right, let's go back to this.
For white Americans.
For white Americans. Oh my God. Were the founding fathers' primary goal white Americans? This is like so easy. So easy. I mean, I know we take ChatGPT with a grain of salt, but this is like far from this is all super basic. I mean, we learned all this in school, to be honest. So this is just pulling up reaffirming information that we have already. If you have any issue with it, you can leave in the comments, say that, oh, ChatGPT was inaccurate, it lied. Which it does lie, and it is oftentimes inaccurate. But as far as the founding fathers, I think this is pretty easy. A lot of the black and African Americans and the slaves were actually Muslims, and they were banned from using their Qur'ans, banned from speaking Arabic, a lot of these other things. Basically, they were subjugated to a lot of the things that Arabs are being accused of and Muslims are being accused of. You know, just... It's interesting, you know. It's interesting that the founding fathers claim everything other than what he's claiming.
Driven
right now.
out. You come
So I don't know if it's ignorance or malice. Really, I don't know if it's intentional or he's just stupid.
here and you marry 4 or 5 women and you outbreed us.
4 or 5 women and outbreed you? Do you mean here? Do you mean people are doing that here? Because the funny thing about marrying more than one woman in Islam, or really any religion, is well, at least in Islam, I'll tell you what, in Islam, you know, the woman has to basically agree to it, you know, otherwise your life is going to be hell. Like, even if, like, you can have a deal within the marriage where she says, do not marry anybody else, and that's it. You're obligated to have only one wife. And beyond that, you know, this is a permission that's primarily not used for self-pleasure. It's something so that you can support multiple families if there are in need, if there are widows, if there's dire circumstances, or if you really do have the capacity to support more than one family. But this is not meant for something just to enjoyment, that you're in your bed and you have all your wives together with you. No, they're supposed to have separate houses. So, you know, and he's talking about outbreeding, and also the limit is 4, not 5. So I don't know about this 4 or 5 thing.
You change the laws.
Small point.
You make all of our country look like the places that you fled from. We don't want you here. Respectfully.
Yeah, well, have you forgotten about, you know, that there's communities across the U.S. that can, you know, make things kind of like home? You know, you have little neighborhoods that are a little bit more Mexican with more Mexican shops. You have, you know, a little bit more Asian neighborhoods, maybe a little bit more Thai, maybe a little bit more Chinese. And it's nice. If they're not compromising the fundamental, like the federal nature, like if they're still paying taxes, what's the big deal? This is kind of the gist of it. Like, even in a Muslim country, you have them pay taxes and you let them do their own thing. You let them self-govern. Why is it your business? Why do you have to overgovern, you know? Like, smaller government, more power to the people is better. If the people in that area are doing their thing, let them do it in their thing in their area. They don't have a desire to spread it across the U.S. And if in their community, let's say they don't want to drink alcohol or they don't want to gamble, why is that a big deal? And some states do have differing laws on these items. This is not something new. Just because these people want to worship one God, not drink, not have fornication, not have homosexuals, or at least tolerate it, but not like this is the thing. All of these values are in line with these supposed Judeo-Christian values, which is an invented term to propagandize. But anyway, let's see if we can get through this 4-minute video.
Get the out of my country. I don't want you here. We don't want you here.
Okay, well, it's good for you that you don't want us here, but this is why it's not up to you to kick us out.
I don't want you here. I don't want you here.
That's fine, sir. Just
I'm sure they don't want. I'm sure the feeling is mutual when you act like this. Like, this is the thing. Like, you have people like Matt Walsh from last time when we were discussing a video where he's saying tolerance is not a virtue. Actually, it is. And in Islam, it is. Maybe in your religion, it's not, which actually it is, but you don't follow your religion anyway. But in Islam, it is a virtue. It is a virtue to be tolerant. We tolerate even, no comment, this guy.
This is our country. And the
Chief, can you
people,
Oh, is your little plate carrier getting heavy?
the guys out there.
the veterans, the World War II veterans, that's blood has soaked.
Yeah, and we did the World War II veterans a lot of favors. We really treated them right. And yeah, we really did a good job with them. And it's not like we sent them to commit atrocities. It's not like those people came back with PTSD. Did you know the whole PTSD thing? Like, these freedom fighters, they don't get PTSD. Why? Because they're defending against evil. But when you get PTSD is when you come in with tanks and guns and superior firepower and obliterate everyone in your path while they don't stand a chance. When you obliterate defenseless people, then you get PTSD. So funny that, I feel like I've veered off topic, but just as a comment about even these, World War II veterans.
For our constitutional republic are taking a look around Europe. They're taking a look around America.
Yeah, even Europe, even America, it goes back to it. Whether it's France, Britain, or the U.S., or any of these other associated countries. Like, you guys are the ones destroying their countries, preventing them from being successful, meddling in their affairs, installing dictators, preventing good people from leading them. And then when bad things happen or their country goes to shit, you say, oh, look, you guys suck.
And they're saying, what the hell did we fight for? We have been taken over.
I know it is a good question. What the hell did they fight for? But anyway.
Not a single shot fired. You guys are outbreeding.
Not a single shot fired. Yeah, this is hilarious. Exactly. We did not fire any bullets. Islam overtook the world without the sword. You say that it's the religion of the sword and whatever. No, it's spreading by sheer example. When you see your Muslim neighbor feed you, or he's very nice to you, he greets you every morning, he says hi to you and your kids, he invites you to food, he, all these little things, he smiles in your face, he finds your wallet on the ground, he returns it to you, a package gets misdelivered to their door, they return it to you. A Muslim treats you right because he fears God. And people see that and they like that and they adopt the religion for themselves. And it also makes sense. They don't have to do mental gymnastics with the Trinity. They don't have somebody who died for their sins. They're personally accountable for what they do and what they do towards you. When you kill one person, Islam is as if you killed entire humanity, is what's told to us. And if you save one life, it's also as if you saved all of humanity. We have beautiful teachings that say that none of you have truly, or the one who loves for his brother what he loves for himself has truly believed, or something like that. These are good, beautiful teachings, things that are similar to what Jesus taught, peace be upon him, who we also believe in. But then you have confused people like this who come and spread this notion, and he's not the one who came up with this idea. He's just following what he heard from somebody else that nobody double-checked. And yeah, it's a cool story, and it sounds tragic and sad, but it's missing all the facts.
Sites on the American way of life. You will never look like us. You will never eat like us. You won't build buildings like...
Actually, I kind of look like this guy. Just saying. And there's some Turkish people and some Levantine area people that do look like him. I think we do look like them. And also, when I'm checking the box, you want to talk about systemic unfairness. Like when I check the box for my race for equal employment opportunity, there's no box for Arab. So there's no equal employment opportunity. I just mark white like the rest of Europeans. You think I want to mark the same box as you? I don't want to mark the same box as you because people like this guy kind of disgust me. Now, I don't think that's everybody who's like him. It's just this guy in particular. But why would I want to associate myself with the race, which is primarily associated with obliterating our countries? I'm also white, so I don't have an issue with white people, obviously, is what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that for one, we already look like you. And for two, it's not like we want to.
Like us. You are nothing, you can build nothing, just like
why would we want to look like you? And he says you can build nothing, meanwhile he's standing in a city full of masajid. It's hilarious. And like some of the greatest architecture came from the Muslim world and building masajid to honor Allah, which, you know, the same name, that's the way that Jesus referred to God, as Allah.
Like President Trump's great American friends have said.
President Trump, do you really care? He's, you know, what has he done for you? We all used to love Trump because he's bringing in, you know, the conservative values, and he's going to reduce the wars and all this. And I was even a Trump supporter. And in 2009, I think he's saying that, let's see, I got to pull this. You guys have to see this.
It was a mistake. The war in Iraq, we spent $2 trillion.
Oh my God, this is so good.
We don't even have it. Iran is taking over. It was a mistake. The war in Iraq, we spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives. We don't even have it. Iran is taking over Iraq with the second largest oil reserves in the world. Obviously, it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We shouldn't make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East.
But so you still think he should be impeached?
I think it's my turn. You do whatever you want. You call it whatever you want. I want to tell you, they lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none.
They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew that. Fast forward to 2025. We bomb Iran with the claim that there's weapons of mass destruction. There are none. We did it anyway, and we did it intentionally. The hypocrisy is so intense. It only takes 16 years, and we come back to the same exact thing. Accusation of weapons of mass destruction. The reality states there are none. We knew there are none, and we attack anyway.
You guys are not us, and get the out. America first.
You guys are not us. No, actually, we're proud to be Americans because we understand the spirit of this country.
America only. God bless America. Jesus is king.
No comment.
Jesus is king.
Thank you.
Jesus is king.
And when Jesus comes back, there's a possibility that he will swear innocence of you.
Jesus is king.
Thank you.
Jesus is king. Jesus is king.
Time has expired.
He will say to some people that I had nothing to do with you.
Order in the chambers. Order in the chambers.
And that concludes our meeting for
And it's like, is this all really necessary? And can you convey your point without emotional arguments, baseless emotional arguments?
Hey, guys. Get these guys. Guys, you got to go back to the seat. Everybody back to your seats or you'll be removed.
Go back and sit down, please. Sit down, please.
All right.
All right, well, I'm glad that we could get through that video together. I turned a 4-minute video into a 40-minute video. But yeah, obviously there was, you know, a lot of things to go over. Can barely get through these. Islam and the West are not compatible. Wrong. Fact check. A lot of the values are identical, or at least the original values, not the ones that you all sacrificed for this world. You know, now again, alcohol, gambling, and sex is overriding what was originally, you know, like, all right, a Muslim mayor says a white man is not welcome in an American city. You know, I don't think it's about the fact that he is white. I think it's about the fact that he's just a totally ignorant person that's incorrect about pretty much everything that comes out of his mouth. Weird how it's not called colonization when it's them. Yeah, well, something really interesting, when you're not killing everybody in your path, then it's not really, you know, colonization. Like if you're not running in guns blazing. And funny that you bring up colonization and you in the very same moment you're forgetting what you did. Who is this man? I love him. Army Ranger veteran here. Yeah, you know, it does sound nice. Jesus, America, woohoo. I like Jesus in America too. Yeah, I have extremely different views than that man because his views are based on nothing, as we discussed today. I mean, not based on nothing, but they're just inaccurate. Like about, you know, how the country was founded for white Christians. Actually, it wasn't. There's a reason why they're, and you know, it crosses my mind again, the whole homosexual thing, that suddenly we're supporting the homosexuals. But anyway, there's a reason why they're doing this in Texas, a predominantly Christian and gun law state. Yeah, I'm sure you live in Texas, but without speculating, I'll take this seriously. No, I don't think there's a reason other than the fact that there was a collection of them and there was enough of them to build masajid and go worship one God. But it really bugs you. It irks you that they go 5 times a day to worship one God, doesn't it? The fact that they're able to worship one God without calling partners to him, it really bugs you, huh? That people have a personal relationship with what you call the Father. It just grinds your gears. They're doing it in Texas, a predominantly Christian and gun law state. Yeah, well, why is it Christian? Why are you forcing your gun laws and your Christianity here if that's not, you know, this was for, oh, that's right, because it was founded for Christians. No, it's freedom of religion. This is a secular state. The mayor needs to be driven out of that city. I'm sure you live in that city. Again, okay, without speculating, what was his big crime? We talked about the one person's big crime. What was the mayor's big crime, you know? It was by asking him to close his eyes when he drove on that street. We need more and more and more of this. To what are you referring to? I don't know. But this can be taken 2 ways, and that's funny to me. Agreed, spot on, America first. I'll just agree with that. Mayor is disgusting. Totally racist. Pretty ironic. I'd say this is peak irony given the speech of Mr. Plate Carrier. Street names of terrorists is wild. Yeah, it's maybe because it's not a terrorist. Maybe because your perception of reality is totally off. And everybody's like, oh, thumbs up, reply. It's time to act. We bring in ICE now. Yeah, okay, buddy. Time for true Americans to do it. We need to rise up. Anyway, I think we've gotten enough. This is all hilarious and ironic, and we'll see you guys next time. If it's anything that I have to close with, this country was founded on principles that allow for any religion and denomination to get together, to congregate, to worship, to do as they please as long as it's within the confines of the law. And these people have not overstepped it.